What's going on, everyone? ANCAP24 here from Playbook.gg. And today's video, what we're going to do is look at one of my favorite crossing patterns in all of Madden 20. Now, if this is the first time checking out our channel and you want to win more games playing Madden, hit that subscribe button below. Don't forget to also click that bell icon to make sure you never miss any of our videos. Alright guys, so the play we're going to be looking at is PA tight end seam out of the gun wing pair formation that's only found currently in Seattle Seahawks Playbook. Now, the reason why I like this play so much is because of the crosser. Not all crossers are created equal. This crosser right here has a really unique angle that not only gets up the field pretty quickly, but once it makes its cut, doesn't actually get too far up the field, but just far enough to clear those clouds and curl flat zones without having to really worry about them, okay? Now, what I also like about this play is that you can actually get a wide receiver in this position. As you see on the screen right now, I put Moss there on my salary cap team. All you've got to do is put your O-line 6 package out there and make sure that your depth chart doesn't have more than 5 offensive starters when it comes to your O-line. And also make sure your fullback isn't a superstar where he's going to go into that tight end spot, okay? So let's get back to the play, and I'll show you why I like this so much. Now, the first thing you could do is basically put the X on a streak, and a lot of people, what they're going to do is put the B on a drag, something like this, okay? And what that's doing is it creates a high-low, and it has a drive route. An excellent combination when you're not going against a user. And the reason why I say this, I'm just going to go ahead and get this here, throw it to this A receiver. You can see that we got an easy catch, and it's going to be successful. If you're not going against a user, that's great because that's going to get open against all coverages because it's a high-low, and that guy doesn't get matched. But if you look at the replay, what's going to end up happening is that this drag route is really not going to get you much, right? We're on the, 49-yard line. When the drag comes across, what ends up happening is that the curl flat is really there the whole time. If we throw it to him, you're literally going to get 2 or 3 yards. Something that you cannot live on if somebody goes and covers the crosser. And when you do play designs, you really want to make sure that you keep the user in mind when you're looking for plays designs to create a two-way option, okay? Now, what I like about this play is I like to put the X on a curl. I like to put the B on a in pattern and block my running back, okay? Now, why is this? You've seen in videos I've done in the past, when we talk about the grid system, if you put a curl on the numbers, what ends up happening is cloud flats and curl flats will jump that player as long as he's the only threat over there as a solo receiver. So if we keep him over there and we make him run there, we're going to predictably know that the curl flat's not going to go any further than that curl, and we're going to have a high-low with the A or the B. So let me show you here with this B route how this works. The B gets underneath it. We're able to throw it to him, catch this ball, get up the field, and get some really good yards, right? Something that we're going to use that route, that crossing route, as either a great option if the user does not cover that, or a great decoy if the user does, right? So this is the two-way option, okay? So what ends up happening is the in goes across the field, right? And we're waiting. Once we throw it to him, we're going to be able to catch it and get up the field, right? Because look at the curl flat. He's staying on that player. He's going to stay until the ball's thrown. Once it is, we're able to get up the field. Now, this only works if the crossing route is actually a threat. It is a threat on this play because of the unique angle, and this is why I really like this, right? Imagine having a wide receiver in this spot, making this route even easier to run, right? On cover 3, I'm just going to base the line so you can get that curl flat a little bit further out to give you a little bit better representation. You're going to see here that we're going to have the ability to throw this ball to this A right here underneath that deep zone. And why is that? The reason for that is that we showed you in our last week's video the grids and how this receiver right here, let me show you, number 88, is going to get up the field and see how he gets on his route, and he basically will go ahead and pull this cornerback as far deep as he goes. See how he keeps on going back and back and back and back and back? He's going to continue to go back because that route, that's going to continue to open up this player and get yourself an easy catch, right? So I really like this, honestly, when I have a left-handed quarterback because it's an easier throw. But for the sake of the video, I'm just using the Eagles, okay? So That's how it worked against cover 3. Now I'm going to do it against cover 3, protect the sticks. We should know that the player with the M over his head is going to go to right about the 10-yard mark, allowing us to be able to hit the B underneath or the A over the top. So watch here. The B is going to be the first guy underneath if we needed it. If not, the A is going to be open over here on the sidelines and get your catch. That route will beat protect the sticks as well, okay? So it's not like that route gets covered by that. Let's call cover 2. Same thing, block the running back, put the B on the in, and go ahead and watch how this A goes out, goes across, and now it's going to beat cover 2 over its head for the easy catch, right? And that's all predictable because of how great this angle is. The fact that it gets above cover 2 pretty quickly, above cover 3 pretty quickly, and we'll go ahead and show you cover 4. Now, let's go ahead and do it again. Let's hike the ball. And what you're going to see here is the B goes underneath, A goes across, and see how we can throw this ball flat to him and still get the catch, right? Now, obviously, cover 4 is going to be a little bit more difficult because that outside player is not going to go back as far, but it is there if you want it. If you saw the B underneath, he's still going to be an option for you because watch here. See how that player still stays on that player when it comes to cover 4? See how I don't throw it and the guy still sees it, and I still have that that tight end on the left side, and you're going to be easy. Now, another thing to consider is doing a motion hike with the B. And what I mean by that is I want to slow down the B a little bit for us. We could do it this way. Motion out 2 steps, come in. Now he's going across the field. You could hit this guy pretty easily underneath if you want. And that's going to give a little bit more of a ability for the user to have to stay at home and let the crosser go, okay? So it's a really nice pattern that goes and beats all coverages when you run it correctly. I typically like to use it most against cover 2 because people don't expect to cover all the way out there with their user against cover 2 because typically they think that's going to get covered. And then obviously against cover 3 and whatnot. But this will work against the sidelines here on the short side. I usually put the X on the actual streak when we do it this way, just because it's not going to work the same way unless it's to the wide side of the field. But if you put the B underneath, you can see that this A is still going to get open. Obviously got the pass rush there. We'll show it one more time here. But with the X, the B, it's going to look like this. Move this guy out a couple steps just to get a little bit of spread between the two. B gets underneath, we can hit him. Then we're going to hit this A over the top of him and get yourself an easy catch. So you can run this on the short side. You can run it on the wide side. If you run it on the short, make sure you put the guy on a streak and use the running fullback, the tight end on the in and make that work, right? So I just want to show you a couple different ways. Last thing I'll show you here, it's definitely a good way to kind of mix in something to make a different look, but you could take the tight end, move him over here and put him on that same route, and it's going to work the same for you. You can also block him and put the Y on the route. You can do it that way if you want. It just gives you a little bit of a different ability, different look, something to where you can see here that you get this guy and get up the field and get yourself some yards as well. Obviously, with the tight end, it's a little bit easier because it goes a little bit further up the field. But I just want to kind of show you some options with it. It's a play I really like. It's in the Seahawks Playbook, like I mentioned before. Something that I'm excited to kind of take a little bit more of a deeper dive in, especially with these new live rosters that they put out for regs that's going to be coming out to MUT, they said, pretty shortly. I'm hoping within the first week or two of January that we might be able to see those. And I just kind of like some of the stuff that's in Seattle. So appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on tomorrow's video. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you check out these videos below for the most helpful Madden tips. If you're looking to learn from the best players in the world, head over to www.playbook.gg for the most detailed game plans in Madden.